Interpretation of the 102 verse of Sura at-tauba. It is reported that Samura Junlab said, once the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said to us, "Two men came to me at night, who took me with them and brought me to a city of gold and silver bricks. There we met people whose bodies were half beautiful and half ugly, and these two they said to them, 'Go and dip in this river.' They plunged into it, and then returned to us when their ugliness had already disappeared, and theirs was beautiful. They told me, 'This is Eden, and this is your dwelling.' They also said, 'As for the people who were half beautiful and half ugly, they mixed righteous deeds with bad ones, but Allah forgave them.'" This hadith was narrated by al-Bukhari. Interpretation of the 113 verse of Surah at-Tauba. It is reported that said al-Musayyib said from the words of his father, when Abu Talib was dying, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, came to him. At that moment, Abu al-Hisham and Abdullah Abu Umayyah al-Mughira were near him. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said to Abu Talib, "O uncle, say, there is no deity but Allah, and thanks to these words, I will be able to testify in your favor before Allah." Abu Yal and Abdullah Abu Umi said, "Abu Talib, do you really renounce the religion of Abd al-Muttalib?" The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, did not stop repeating his instructions, and they repeated their words again and again. And the last words of Abu Talib were the words that he remains in religion of Abd al-Muttalib. He refused to say, "There is no deity but Allah," and the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "I swear by Allah, I will ask forgiveness for you until it is forbidden to do so." And then Allah Almighty sent down this verse. It is not fitting for the Prophet and the believers to ask for forgiveness for the polytheists, even if they are relatives, after it became clear to them that they will be inhabitants of hell. And another verse was sent down. "Verily, you cannot guide those whom you love." This hadith was narrated by Ahmad, al-Bukhari, Muslim, and Nasai, and others. Interpretation of the 118 verse of Surah at-Tauba. It is reported that Kaab Malik told about how he did not take part in the campaign to Tabuk. When the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, went on a campaign, I never lagged behind him, except for the campaign to Tabuk. True, I did not take part in the Battle of Badr, but we did not reproach any of those who did not take part in it, because the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, went to capture the caravan of the Quraysh. Allah brought them and their opponent together in a place that they did not agree on. I also took part in taking the oath at night in the place of Al-Aqaba, when we promised not to deviate from Islam. And I would not want to take part in the Battle of Badr instead of participating in this oath, although people remember it more often. So, I did not take part in that campaign, although I had never been so strong and provided. I swear by Allah, before that I could never afford to keep 2 camels at once, but before this campaign I had 2 of them at once. When the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was about to go on a campaign, he always pretended to have other intentions. But on this campaign, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, decided to go in extreme heat. They had a long journey ahead of them, desert and numerous opponents, and so he revealed his intentions to the Muslims so that they could prepare for the campaign, and even informed them where he wanted to go. There were so many Muslims then, together with the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, that it was impossible to rewrite all of them. And if someone wanted to hide from sight, he believed that this would go unnoticed, unless there was revelation from Allah. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, decided to go on this campaign when the fruits ripened and the plants turned green. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and the Muslims began preparations for the campaign. Every morning I was going to prepare with them, but I returned home without doing anything. I said to myself, I can handle the arrangements. This continued with me until the people began active preparations. And one morning the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and the Muslims went on a campaign with him, but I still did not collect provisions and equipment. Then I said to myself, it's okay, I'll pack up in a day or two, and then I'll catch up with them. After they left, I went to prepare for the campaign, but returned again, having done nothing. I went to get ready and came back again with nothing. This went on until they had gone far, and so I missed the march. All of a sudden I wanted to get on horseback and catch up with them. Oh, I wish I had done so, but I was not destined after the departure of the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. I went out into the city and went around the people. And I became very sad that I met only those who were accused of hypocrisy, or weak people whom Allah allowed not the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, did not remember me until he reached Tabuk. Sitting among the people, he asked, what did the Kaab do? A man from the tribe of Banu Salam said, O Messenger of Allah, he was delayed because he admired his beauty and clothes. Then Mu'adh Jabal said, what you said is bad. By Allah, O Messenger of Allah, we do not know about nothing wrong with him. To be continued.